Hey, this is Sorry I Didn't Come With a Filter podcast. Yeah, it's 2022 now. I know, I've been away for a while. Just doing a lot of intro perspective of myself, inner self work, self-care work, everything kind of work. Still got a lot of work to do, but how is everybody's New Year so far? You know, I live in freaking Canada, and we've had some ridiculous snowstorms and shit like that right now. I'm just kind of sick of the fucking snow. I'm looking more forward towards tonight's college football, because you got Georgia Bulldogs versus the Alabama. I think it's Nick Saban, isn't it? Or I don't even know who's the coach of Alabama. I forget. But that guy, he's a repeat champ. What can I say? I know I'm a little off right now. It's off Monday. Just cleaned up all the floors again in my restaurant here, so it's kind of tricky situations. But anyways, that's beside the point. I'm starting to get a little pissed off with COVID. I swear to God, fucking COVID-19 can fuck off right now. It's fucking me up with my hockey. I want to watch my hockey again. But, you know, it is. I am not sorry for what I'm going to be saying today, because it is Monday. It's a new me. I'm going to be kind of revamping the show. There is no more Woman Crush Wednesdays. I will say that for the foreseeable future, until I can get my mental health back to normal. And that's my deal to that. So, yeah, I fucked myself up pretty good. I hope everybody had a good Christmas, because I know my Christmas was kind of like more of a self-reflecting kind of thing, and that's basically how I just have to keep it. And now I'm going to just go off of that topic, because I'll just get a little more pissed off. I am going into new ventures. You will be hearing about that pretty much until I start doing it. I am getting into like music history courses. I will be looking into. I love music, so I'll be doing that. But I want to just dive into my sports first. So, yes, it's Monday, so that means Week 18's over in the NFL. That means a lot of coaches got fired. So Matt Nagy finally left that the Bears. He finally left the Bears. They finally let go of him. I think they really need something to go on. Somebody asked me if Joe Judge would be somebody you should stick with on the Giants. I don't think so. He was, horrible season. I wouldn't see much of him sticking around at all. It's just, I don't see it. They shouldn't even be keeping him. He's not a good head coach. Brandon Flores apparently was the one that stunned the whole entire NFL. It's not such a, for me to say when Nagy left, Nagy really kind of just shit the bed with the Bears. He has such a good offensive young core going. I don't know what the fuck happened there. I think Brian Flores should have stayed. Because honestly, he was he turned that team around from having such a dismal year this year to almost possibly making the playoffs. I have to say that, that's just an insult to intelligence on that behalf. I've been looking around, seeing if there's any more news, but looks like because baseball right now is kind of, I think, still stuck in a lockout situation. So that's just kind of how I see it right now. Just kind of flipping through some of my news feeds here. I really, to tell you the honest truth, I'm not so surprised about the firings. They always happen every year in the NFL. But, Detroit Lions, the Bears, every most of these teams that don't make playoffs anyways, they keep just firing everybody, trying to hire. I think it's really, you should just go out and try to punch your ticket into, building your core, building a youthful team, and, get a coach in there that can actually do things. Like, I know Urban Meyer is like the asshole of asshole coaches. But again, that's my take to that. Like, whatever he did or whatever he said in Jacksonville or done towards players, he's a way I'm still reading up on it, like, even more. Some of my friends kind of send me things here and there of Urban Meyer's background of college days, football, coaching the college. He's a real dick, apparently, so. But with all these firings, the reason why I brought up Urban Meyer is because he got fired. But again, Jacksonville wasn't going to go anywhere anyways, so you sink or swim with that. But Brian Flores should have probably stayed with the Dolphins a little longer. I think he was just on the cusp of getting Tua and Fuller and all these guys really getting into the game. Really getting into where they're supposed to be making the playoffs. So that's my take to that. On the Bears side, I think the Bears have to go out and really search and put their heads into the to the ground pavement and just hit that pavement rolling, because it's just, you can't say one thing or another of who should be the coach for Chicago. There's probably a lot of leading candidates, but you got Justin Fields, you got Andy Dalton and Nick Foles, two highly priced quarterbacks that I don't even see winning you a Super Bowl ring anymore. Foles did what Foles did, but that was the Philly special kind of thing going on. Philly had something weird. They won it. I don't really see much more than that. As the playoffs the playoffs look pretty much bleak to where it's supposed to be. I can't really suggest right now, because you got the wild card rounds. You got Raiders, Bengals this week, Saturday. Patriots versus Bills Saturday. You got the Eagles, Buccaneers on Sunday, and then you got the Niners and Cowboys. And Steelers, Chiefs Sunday, also Cardinals and Rams. I know there's a few of them got like first round buys or whatever. They're out of the whatever rounds. To me, the Bengals versus the Raiders is a very it'll be the sleeper game of Saturday. Bills and Patriots is one I would be looking forward to. I want to see if Josh Allen could possibly redeem himself a little more. Maybe redeem himself from what happened to him in the regular season, where he kind of trailed off and fell down the slippery slope of mid-season, close to the playoff reach kind of games. Eagles versus Buccaneers is going to be a hell of an interesting one to me too. Again, the whole AB 81 kind of situation in Antonio Brown. As I look through it, I read about it a little more. AB is a guy who, to me, he's really good. He's a great and fantastic and a legendary wide receiver. Anybody, for his actions, what happened that last game, do not shit yourself stupid on thinking, oh, he tarnished his career. No, he didn't tarnish his career. It's just, everybody acts out with anger in different ways. Maybe he does have some mental health issues, but you know what? Let that be. That's, some private matters that is on his side of things. if he vents to other, on other podcasts and shows like that, that's him letting it out. Just let him have it. Let him have his say and his piece to it. But with all that saying, I'm picking the Buccaneers over the Eagles, the Bengals over the Raiders. I really, Joe Burrow and that team with Jamar Chase and Mixon, and it's ridiculous. That team is such a star-studded team. Renfrew and Carr on the Raiders, that big deal. Not too much of a big deal to me. I think this is the first time I can actually say that I see the Raiders in the playoffs for a while. But again, I'm not gonna. Don't hold that against me. The next game, you got the Niners and the Cowboys. Okay, here's where interesting gets even more interesting. You got Dak Prescott versus Jimmy G. Both have had some fairly injured-prone seasons lately in the last few years. But if I had to put my money down, I'd put my money down on America's team, the Cowboys, just because you got Ezekiel Elliott, you got Amari Cooper, you got CeeDee Lamb. You do have the stud in Dak Prescott throwing the freaking ball, and he can, he knows if you have to have the ball run, he's got Ezekiel there, and he can run it. Chiefs, Steelers. Is this Ben's big last hurrah? I hope not, but I am a Chiefs fan, but I really do respect the hell out of Big Ben. And, if this is his last season, I really feel so bad because the Chiefs are starting to really find that niche again, and they're playoff bound again as they're in the wild card round. And with that being said, it's Mahomes' game. If I was a betting man, I couldn't bet on that game. I would have to try to avoid it. Cardinals, Rams, that's another one. I will probably say, as much as Kyler Murray did turn around most of his year, and he went on that weird run for being the last team before they suffered that massive loss there. I would say massive loss because it was your first loss. Usually the first losses to me are usually your massive losses when you're on a complete game streaking situation. But I'm going to go with the Rams on that one. So it's like the Steelers and Chiefs are the one game I cannot predict. I would have to say Josh Allen seeks redemption and beats the piss out of Belichick and Mac and all of them. Bengals over the Raiders, Bucks over the Eagles, Cowboys over the Niners, and yeah, that's I cannot say anything else. Then we got, the Georgia team, Georgia Bulldogs versus the Alabama. So, the national championship, that's it. Just let me get there. So you got Alabama versus, Georgia, both with the same record, but I don't know what to say to each of these teams. You got, on one hand, you got the Crimson Tide, you got Bryce Young, John Mechie, yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking here. Kool-Aid, and you got Williams, you got Robertson Jr., well, whatever. Right now, you got Bryce Young, John Mechie, and Kool-Aid there, who are just they're doing what they can on that side in Alabama. I've been trying to watch the college football, but I just kind of faded in and out just due to the COVID bullcrap and trying to follow through my hockey stuff. But right now, JT Daniels, Stetson Bennett are your quarterbacks in Georgia. I can't really say who I want to win this, but I would love to say, Georgia wins. I would love to say Georgia wins. But it's a hard sell. To me, it's a hard sell because of the way things are. Yeah, it's Nick Saban. I was right. Nick Saban is the coach. Crimson Tide are just a hardcore fucking team right now. That's the problem I see. They're just such a hard team. They may have lost one game, but with 15 seasons with Saban, he's like 178-24 in his games, and that's just ridiculous. That's just, for him being there. Looking at everything else in it, I couldn't tell you much more on that side of things. Let's see what Georgia Bulldogs got. I gotta remember. Kirby Smart is the coach of the Georgia Bulldogs. Oh. Just gotta pause you.